Hey guys, look, I'm in the mirror. Yay! So this is my camera that I use to record most of my footage, and this is relevant because so the relevance of the moment with me in the mirror with my camera is the fact that this camera cost me £600, and I was watching a video that I happened to stumble across, and what happened was I was on Facebook and there was a page that come up and it said job chasers, and I was like, the hell's this? It's obviously something to do with the game chasers. And I did a bit of digging, and apparently the game chasers are asking for a bit of financial support, whatever you want to call it. And this like fat ginger kid had done a video like just saying, get a job, 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 like seriously, get a job. Yeah, and I just wanted to put my opinion across on asking for financial support and shit for YouTube channels. So yeah, basically, you know, obviously I've got my game collection and, you know, bits and pieces everywhere, a couple of Saturns there. Yeah, so obviously I've already got the games collection, but when it comes to actual filming, you know, I mean, I'm not really going to say that I buy the games to make videos. I kind of guess I do, but I don't, because I'm just collecting shit, I guess. But yeah, so the value of them is kind of irrelevant. But like I say, £600 for the camera. Now this computer here, it's probably had 1,300 quid invested in it over the years, and if it wasn't for this computer I wouldn't be able to, well, I would be able to, but this computer's sole use at the minute is basically capturing footage. As you can see here, it's got the PS2 hooked up from my recent videos. So, you know, so far we're up to 1,900 quid investment to record videos, and like I say, this here is solely for capturing. And I've got my laptop here, and this was about 370, I think, and you can see it's uploading a video there. And it's also what I use to produce videos, because I can't use this computer all the time now because it's basically knackered on its last legs. It takes like 20 minutes to start it up, which is no good for editing. So far, 1,900, £2,270. So on top of that, obviously I need memory cards for my cameras, so various memory cards. These aren't actually good examples, these are all pretty worthless ones, because the ones I actually use are like in the camera, and I couldn't find the other ones. But all in all, probably about 40 quid's worth of memory cards. Also got here my other camera, which is what I use when this camera isn't viable, because this camera is obviously bulky. So yeah, that was £100. And I've also got my GoPro cameras here, which I use for some of my videos. Here you can see I've got two of them. This one's mounted to a motorsport mount, which is about 30 quid's worth on its own. Because I've got the two cameras, I've also got the 3D housing, which was 90 quid for them, so you can make 3D videos. Done some of them. And there's also I've got a chest mount here, so you can put that around your chest. That was about £30 again. Yeah, so this guy's on his video mouthing off about how he wants to buy a new camera, how game chasers should get a job and all this. I mean, I'm not for e-begging, as it seems to be called these days, and on the other hand I'm not really against it, but my opinion is that there's just a lot of shit out there. I mean, everyone's jumping on it nowadays. I mean, you've got YouTube shows where people send games in to people. I mean, you know, fair enough, but I think sometimes what people need to realise is that these shows that they're sending the games into, these are shows that get, like, you know, say between 50 and 200,000 views per video, and I know that, you know, you get probably, from my experience, a couple of quid per 1,000 views. So yeah, you know, 50 views, you know, 50,000 views even, yeah, you're talking 100 quid over the lifetime of that video. And, you know, I think sometimes people can definitely afford to fund their own shit from the revenue. Now, I'm not going to say this is the case with game chasers because they've got more overheads. I don't know what their equipment's like, but they do improvise quite a bit, I find, when I'm watching. You know, like there was a recent video where there's a microphone on a pole or something, and yeah, but yeah, you know, you got to take the assumption that there's usually about 4 people featuring the game chasers, and you know, if that money's going 4 ways, it's not a great substantial amount of money. And then if you got to pay for gas, as the Americans like to call it, then yeah. So, you know, I'm not saying that people shouldn't give to people who, you know, need backing or whatever, but what I'm saying is that some things that people do back don't need backing, and I just think that's kind of greed. When something's making money and then people are sending things in on top of that, you know, these people clearly do not realise that, you know, people are making money out of YouTube. If there's ads on the videos, they're making money. They might not be recovering their losses, but if there are no losses to begin with, i.e. they're not buying games because people are sending them in, then they are making money. So, you know, game chasers are actually going out buying games, spending money on gas. So, you know, I enjoy the show. I think that it's something that could be, you know, a successful actual TV show, you know. Maybe not on a mainstream channel, but one of the smaller TV channels. And what else was I going to talk about? Oh yes, it's now come to me. One of the other things is all of these Kickstarters for things like, for example, Cheetah Men 2, Pier Solar, you know, just stuff like that in general. Now, not really got too much trouble with them. I know there's a lot of die-hard collectors out there that want that stuff, but what's annoying me is the amount of people that keep backing these stupid fucking consoles, like Android consoles and these so-called retro consoles. They're all complete fucking bollocks, because at the end of the day, if you want to play retro games, you can get a fucking PSP and hack it like I've done and play retro games. You know, these systems aren't any cheaper. If it was a fucking handheld system that cost £10 that played retro games, fair enough, but people need to stop fucking backing these pointless consoles. There's just people out there hoovering fucking shitty fucking consoles up for silly prices. An example's that Pandora console. That's a complete pile of fucking ass. Not really Kickstarter related or anything as well, but the Neo Geo X, MVS X, whatever it's called, you know, it's just a fucking piece of shit running Linux with some ROMs on it, and people go mad for this shit, and they need to stop doing it, and you know, put the money into more worthwhile things. You know, I mean, this is just my opinion, but why would you want to waste a couple of £100 on, you know, something that's, let's face it, never going to get any more games released for it, and people buy them for £200 and then go out and hack them. I mean, you might as well just go on fucking Deal Extreme and buy a generic Chinese fucking handheld fucking retro console. So that's just my 2 cents, or even I should say 2 pence, because I'm in the UK. But yeah, I just thought I needed to do a video saying some shit. So I'm sitting on the fence with regard to e-begging, but my opinion is that there are some people spending, you know, their money, giving their money away to complete fucking irrelevant causes. There are causes out there that deserve money, but the issue of e-begging is people need to stop giving their money away to bollocks. Not saying that the Game Chasers is bollocks, I'm kind of neutral on that, but you know I enjoy the show and shit. But people should not be using ad blockers, because if you're using an ad blocker and somebody's channel is kept afloat by ad revenue, then in my opinion it's just immoral. So if you're using ad blockers, then you need to seriously take a look at yourself. You know, somebody spends hours putting these videos together, and you know, you can't just wait 10 seconds or whatever to you know, view their material. So people using ad blockers, generally you can all bollocks. You know, if you're using ad blocker and you subscribe to my channel, you might as well unsubscribe, to be honest, because you're not really of any value to me. So yeah.